Before anything was, there was nothing. Imagine a world with no shape, a world with no sound. It was an empty space, vast and deep. Darkness was everywhere. It covered everything like a thick, heavy blanket. The world was without form, and it was void. A great, silent ocean of darkness stretched on and on. There were no mountains, no trees, no animals, and no people. Just a quiet, waiting emptiness. The Spirit of God moved over the surface of the waters, a gentle breath in the deep, powerful silence of the beginning. It was a time before time itself had started. Then, a voice spoke. It was the voice of God. The voice was strong and full of power. It cut through the great darkness. God said, "Let there be light." And just like that, there was light. It was the very first light the world had ever seen. It shone brightly in the darkness. The darkness could not stop it. The light was pure and beautiful, a wonderful new thing in the empty world. God saw the light, and he knew that it was good. He separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day. He called the darkness night. The evening came, and the morning followed. This was the first day, a day of new beginnings. On the second day, God continued his work. He looked at the great waters that covered everything. There was water below and water above. God spoke again. He said, "Let there be a space to separate the waters," and it happened. A great expanse appeared, like a huge, clear dome. It pushed the waters apart. God called this great open space sky. The evening came and the morning followed. This was the second day, a day of separation and order. On the third day, God saw the waters below. They covered everything. He spoke once more. "Let the water be gathered into one place. Let dry ground appear." The waters obeyed. They moved and flowed together, forming great seas and oceans. And where the water had been, dry land rose up. There were hills and valleys, plains and mountains. God called the dry ground land. He called the gathered waters seas. God looked at the land and the seas, and he saw that it was good. But God was not finished with the third day. He said, "Let the land produce plants. Let there be seed-bearing plants and trees that grow fruit." Instantly, the land changed. Green shoots pushed up through the soil. Grass grew like a soft carpet. Flowers of every color bloomed. Tall trees reached for the sky, their branches filled with leaves and delicious fruit. The evening came, and the morning followed. This was the third day, a day of earth and greenness. The world was now green and alive, ready for the creatures that would soon fill it. On the fourth day, God looked up at the great sky he had made. He said, "Let there be lights in the sky." So God made two great lights. He made the bigger light to rule the day. We call it the sun. He made the smaller light to rule the night. We call it the moon. He also made the stars, scattering them like tiny shining jewels across the dark night sky. The sun shone down, warming the land. The moon cast a gentle silver glow. The stars twinkled and shone. The evening came, and the morning followed. This was the fourth day. On the fifth day, God turned his attention to the waters and the sky. He said, "Let the waters be filled with living creatures, and let birds fly in the sky." Suddenly, the seas came alive. Fish of all shapes and sizes swam in the water. There were tiny fish and giant whales. At the same time, the sky filled with the sound of wings. Birds soared and glided on the wind. God blessed the new creatures. The world was no longer quiet. There was the swish of fins in the water and the cheerful song of birds in the air. This was the fifth day. On the sixth day, God looked at the dry land. So God spoke again. "Let the land produce living creatures." Cattle and sheep appeared. Lions and tigers began to walk the earth. Lizards and insects crawled among the plants. Then God said something special. "Let us make human beings in our own image." So God created the first man and the first woman. He made them to be like him. He blessed them and gave them care over all the wonderful things he had made. Humans were the final, most special part of his creation, made to love and care for the world. God looked at everything he had made. He saw that all of it, working together, was not just good, it was very good. His work of creation was complete. On the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. He blessed the seventh day and made it holy. It was the end of a week of wonders, a story of how an empty, dark world was filled with light, life, and love, all from the powerful and good words of God. Thanks for watching The Living Word. If this story blessed you, like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories. Stay blessed and keep living in the Word.